Hey, so as promised, here is part one of two of the continuation of my mind melting. I promised you in the episode that I just did with the teaser. It wasn't an episode, it was a teaser about how my husband and I are going to do merge our brains, which is a scary thought, and do a show together. And again, I'm in this room. The lighting, I cannot figure out a good spot. So I'm going to see if I can mess with the lighting after this is done because right now I look like I'm in a cave. And I'm not. My house is wide open, lovely, and everything, but now I feel like I'm in a little dungeon. Anyway, no chains. So if you remember, if you recall, if you don't, I have links in my description that I'll keep referring to so that you don't have to go digging around and look and you can just click on them. All right. So when I reference them, that's what I'm talking about. Um, Not sure if you remember, but back about a month ago, I did an episode, number 43, actually, called I'm About to Blow Your Mind. And it was in reference to a organization called the ACIO. And that is the Advanced Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Now, I talked about somebody called the Peter the Insider. And I also talked at length about the Galactic Council of Five, and anything that you can think of UFO wise, alien wise, human interaction, all these things that I thought I had hit like pay dirt with it. I was not anywhere close to getting into the rabbit hole like I am now. And I'm still in it. Even after these two parts, I'm still in it. Okay. So, episode 43 is in a link below if you want to check it out to refresh. It's not, it's not like nothing that I do is super, super long anyway, as you know. So, anyway, if you want to just do a quick refresher, I would highly suggest you go there. All right. Now, I am going to introduce you to Anthony, okay, in this episode. And Anthony was born in 1985 in West Palm Beach, Florida. What is significant about 1985, Anthony tells people, is that it was a really important year for star seeds. I was born in 75, so I don't know if it goes in fives. And I don't even know if I'm a star seed, but he says that it was a really important year for star seeds. I'm not really sure if that's too important with what I'm telling you, but I thought it was, if he thought it was worth mentioning, I think it's worth mentioning. So, okay, at an early age, Anthony demonstrated many different talents and abilities, okay, in the realms of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Okay, he had access in a very advanced fashion into these realms. At the age of 6, just 6, he had his first military abduction experience as part of Operation Green Star for the CIA. Sit tight, it gets worse. During his childhood, he was repeatedly taken and into deep underground military bases where he claims to have been exposed to sexual assault. He used the word rape. I almost stopped right there, but I just think it's important to continue through this because the way he talked about it almost was as if he had just compartmentalized it and it was like he was ordering fries with that. It was very strange, icy, if you will. Chilling is a better word. I think chilling. Other than nausea, it sent me feeling like I had my spidey senses went. Now he was he was being groomed, if you will, into a Generation 6 MK Ultra super soldier. Okay, guys, and here it goes. MK Ultra never closed down in 1973 as initially thought. I just did the MK in about a little over a week ago. I had an MK Ultra episode that I completed for you, and you may want to, I have in the link below. So conveniently, you can just go and, if you're so inclined to want to go and see what that one was all about, check it out, and you'll be all caught up. Now, Operation Green Star, okay, is the new and improved. God, that doesn't sound like a good thing to say, but it's the new MK Ultra. Um, damn it. His whole life, okay, was guided by the military in one way or another. And at the age of 16, he was taken. I mean, he began service against something called the Dark Fleet. It's Nazi based. Okay. Yeah. And he actually started working for a company, a subcontractor called Kruger Mercenary Corporation. Now, um, Kruger, to give you a little background on that, okay, um, like Anthony, he hmm, he was a super soldier without a past. Like a lot of these guys didn't start remembering their path to becoming a super soldier until or their entrance into the special space program, which was the 20 and back program. That was in episode 20. Also below, and there's a link for it below if you want to watch that as a refresher. Okay. That was the age regression program, and it's where people, soldiers, and other civilians too, like Corey Good, I mentioned him in that. He was a civilian and he went, it's basically you do a 20-year sign up and your memories are then removed. So basically you're returned back to the place and time and age that you were taken to into this 20 and back space program. And uh you know the unfortunate thing is a lot of people who who have entered into the space program do have abilities that develop over time, and therefore they're able to unlock these memories. So when they get these memories back, again, I'm reminded of them feeling, Corey Good saying, I feel like I've lived 4 lifetimes. It's very strange to leave at the age of 17, age where I go for 20 years, and come back and I'm 17 again. And because of his special skill set, he was able to retain a lot of what he had done while he was away. So he had like this, this older man mentality at times. Anyway, so Anthony kind of started to experience some of that. But it is good to know that there are forces, both inside and outside the government, that are resisting the Nazi dark fleet. Okay. And they're fighting against reptilians. Now, not all reptilians are bad. And I know I sound kind of nuts when I say that, but it's true. They're not all bad. But they, you know, there are the ones that are attempting to, basically take over where our timeline is now and where other timelines of ours are. And these super soldiers are really kind of behind the scenes making sure that where we are and where we're heading is always on track, and that these, malevolent forces that are out there, they're handling it. And I know that kind of blows, it's like I told you, it's like mind blowing. But the US does have its own secret space program, and it's got its own fleet of spaceships, believe it or not. And it's up to you, you believe it or not. And it is called the Solar Warden Space Armada. Okay. And it patrols the edges of the solar system, and it poses a great threat against the Nazis' dark fleet. Okay. Now, getting back to what Kruger is, a mercenary, like I said, mercenary corporation. Now, their company specializes in um, kind of augmentation of their personnel. And by augmentation, I mean it gives them the ability to have greater speed, agility, stamina, strength in general, revitalization for like the illness doesn't really affect them, that kind of thing. Okay. And these augments are commonly used by special operatives called runners, all right? And they specialize in like acrobatics in something called parkour, and that is like, say for instance you're looking at a it's pretty popular now. You're looking at, say, like a parking garage, and instead of using ropes and pulleys and all that, a parkour person who is skilled in it can climb up that entire structure without using anything but the building's like morsels, crevices, little things here and there, and they're so physically agile that they can just pop right up. So that's what that is. And it would look weird if you were to watch it. You'd be like, what is this person doing? What are they, a monkey? So they also though they show extraordinary speed and stamina, and they are typically deployed on espionage and sabotage missions. Okay, because their incredible speed allows them to infiltrate facilities. Oh my, hello, infiltrate facilities, steal intelligence, and sabotage key targets. Hmm. These augments have also been applied extensively for injured and handicapped individuals for and it goes a long way in improving the quality of life for some individuals. This is not something that is given to the public. This is not something that you or I would ever experience. Like, if if God forbid a limb or something was to be, like you'd have to have it removed or something. Like, if I was a super soldier, they would take care of it and fix me right up. But since I'm just a little YouTube, person, um, unless I'm a super soldier and I don't know, it's possible. No, it's not. So it's important to note, though, for just quick reference, that Anthony claims that he comes from a little bit of an interesting lineage here. His grandmother's a healer, and she, even to this day, I guess, still has like a shop and in Florida where she heals people. They come to her for special healing, I guess. And his grandfather, when he was alive, worked on all black ops. He could never talk about what he did, but one time he did talk about working on the Aurora project, which was Blackbird. So he was always into things like that. So again, Anthony being raised around that element, okay. And he also, as hold on, I have so many notes that I started to like make other notes on other pages because I've learned more and was like, oh my God, that fits over here. So anyway, um, Anthony, in his regular, quote unquote, regular life, he was a wrestler in high school and he was quite the standout. And after high school, he enrolled in the US Marines, naturally. And he enrolled as an infantry assaultman, which obviously is kind of like the precursor to learning a lot about probably being a super soldier. So cool. Oh my God, my hair. Sorry, I can see my hair when I'm doing this, and I get okay. Anyway, you guys know me well enough now to know that I'm just a fucking weirdo, and that's that. Okay. Anyway, so during boot camp, he was nominated for the honored position of platoon commander, or otherwise known as the guide. I'd never heard that before, to be honest. I still don't know if that's an actual thing, but he graduated number 2 in a class of 300 in the Marines. That's something to brag about. He completed a combat tour in the city of Fallujah during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then after 4 years, he was honorably discharged. Wow, I don't know what's going on here. And then, excuse me, after the Marines, Anthony became a martial arts fighter and MMA. is actually I think what it's technically called. And a Anthony claims that he, when competing, can actually manipulate the wind. That's one of his special gifts. Um, it helps with his agility and his stamina and also makes his punches more powerful, he claims. I don't know if that's considered cheating. I don't know. But anyway, he developed these telekinesis capabilities as a child and has just learned how to, kind of hone them as a grown up. So good for him, I guess. As long as he's not cheating. I don't condone cheating. But anyway, um, he actually started to also develop in his like later teenage years ESP capabilities. And it sort of opened a Pandora's box for him. So anyway, he began to remember a lot about his training, and at the age of 25, he began recovering um, memories of his service in the space program, which can be very jarring, as I said. And he now feels like he's going through something called like a total recall of memories, and he knows now how he became a super soldier through the MK Ultra Green Star program. And he also feels like he has had throughout his life something called the Adjustment Bureau. If you've not heard of it, it's actually a Hollywood movie. He uses it as an example. So it's a Matt Damon, Emily Blunt movie where Matt Damon is set on this path, and it's like in the timeline that he is supposed to become president of the United States. So these Adjustment Bureau people who wear the hats and they can open doors and they basically can lead to anywhere on the earth that Matt Damon's character needs to be. And in order to keep him on this path. Well, Anthony claims that there have been people throughout his life that have been like that. So when he and his mother were living somewhere, these four military, actually three military and one commercial pilots moved in next to them, and they sort of like became like his uncle when he was younger. And the commercial pilot and his mother ended up actually falling in love and marrying and whatnot, but he always felt like these guys sort of like looked out for him and sort of guided him, and he was using flight simulators when he was 16, totally breaking rules all over the place, and he was just seeing technology that nobody else was seeing, and that was part of his path. So it's interesting. I mean, he really has had quite a fascinating life. And honestly, a lot of it, he learned too that his mother was a super soldier. He learned that as time went on. And of course, that just helps him to, figure out more of his stuff. But since his awakening, he's been very active in disclosure and in sharing. And he's he's trying to promote and release the truth so that our planet can ascend to an optimal timeline and remain in that timeline the way it's supposed to, and to become a type 1 civilization. I'm not quite sure what type 1 civilization means, but it sounds pretty cool. I'd like to be part of it. Now, there are other super soldiers, and I'm going to tell you about them in part 2. I'm going to let you go for now, though, because it's already gone a little long, and I know that you know that I know that sitting through these are, hopefully you're finding it interesting enough that this is something I don't know if you ever heard of it, but the next part 2, you're going to find out about a couple of guys that are going to blow your mind. There's stuff in there that's just unbelievable. So anyway, until tomorrow, because I'm doing these back to back. I'm not going to make you wait or anything. And I hope you're staying happy and healthy and stay weird. Please keep up with me. And, use the links if you want to catch up. And take care until next time. Bye.